students, this is Alex Norton, your Newcastle PBSCS coach, and today we're going to talk about managing big feelings. We all know that it's harder to be our best selves, it's harder to have impulse control when we are really frustrated, angry, upset, sad, excited about something, when we're having strong emotions. It's much more difficult to access our prefrontal cortex strategies for staying calm and carrying on, and it is much easier to live in our amygdala, the more emotional center of our brain. Daniel Siegel, a popular author among parents and educators, made popular the hand model of the brain. And so Daniel Siegel kind of helps kids understand this by showing them his fist. Here's the brain, here's the brain stem. He calls this outer part your prefrontal cortex that's in charge of helping you make great decisions and control your behavior so that you act appropriately in a given moment. And sometimes when we're having a strong feeling, we flip our lid. And when we flip our lid, it's the amygdala, this inner structure in the brain that is more emotional in nature. This older part of our brain isn't so good at controlling behaviors, it's very reactive. And so we talk about flipping our lid when we're kind of out of control. And the goal is to, of course, prevent that flipping our lid if we can, or if it happens, dealing with that. And that's what this video is kind of about. But one of the things that might be helpful is explicitly teaching your children this hand model. And when you're talking about strategies for helping them deal with big feelings, let them know this is a physiological reality they're in. Even primary students really enjoy this model and it makes a lot of sense to them. So let's talk about big feelings. We're going to use a framework called the zones of regulation, which is a really helpful way for kids and adults to picture different frames of mind that we might be in and strategies for dealing with being in each place. So for the first part of the zones of regulation is called the blue zone. And so that's when we're feeling sad or sick or tired or bored, we're moving slowly. It's low energy and low affect or mood. So strategies we have for when we are feeling in the blue zone might be listening to music to lift our mood, or moving around, maybe dancing or going for a walk, maybe taking a drink of water or running our hands underwater, or even having some sort of tactile sensory experience to put us in a different frame of mind. Maybe it's running in place, anything that lifts our mood or lifts our energy. And depending on the child, it can be helpful to create a chart that looks like this and to come up with strategies specific to your child. When you're feeling like you're in a low mood and you don't have a lot of energy, when you're feeling sad or sick or tired, what are some things that make you feel better? The next zone is the green zone. That's when we feel happy, calm, focused. We are ready to learn in this stage. So most of the time we prefer to be in this zone. All emotions are good, important, and helpful. They all give us information. But as human beings, we love to be in this green zone, and it is definitely the ideal zone to be in for wanting to learn. Once we're in the yellow zone, we're feeling not so great. We might be frustrated or worried about something, or feeling silly, wiggly, having a hard time focusing, or might be really excited about something that's happening. We're starting to lose control. So it's really important. We haven't flipped our lid yet. We're still in control, but we're in the yellow zone. It's important to notice and to take action. So again, it's good to talk with your child about what strategies they might use to help them when they're feeling these emotions. This might be a good time to use a fidget if it's been taught how to use a fidget in a way that helps to refocus instead of distract. This might be a good time for an alternate seat, something that will help you if you're feeling excited to calm down, or if you're feeling frustrated to help you rock back and forth. If you're feeling worried, it might be helpful to talk about it to a grown-up, to write about it or draw about it. Other great strategies for when you're in the yellow zone would be stopping to take a break, to get a snack, to go for a walk, to get a drink of water, to take a breath, or several breaths, maybe to do mindfulness or meditation activity. All things that help you go from being almost out of control to calming down and getting back into the green zone. Finally, let's talk about the red zone. In the red zone, we've officially flipped our lid. We are no longer in control. We might be yelling. You might see some hitting behaviors in this stage. There might be terror or extreme anger or just wild elation. The important thing is that to remember is that in this frame of mind, your child is no longer in control. And so saying a lot of words and talking to them at this state is counterproductive. The best thing to do when your child has reached this stage is to calmly say their name and to say stop or breathe. The important thing is to help them settle and regain control. This is not the time to talk about what's wrong. This is not the time to give choices or to have a conversation. This is the time just to help them re-regulate through breath, through movement, or maybe just sitting still and rocking. Anything that will just give them a couple minutes to re-regulate their bodies. Then once their bodies are re-regulated, then you can have conversations about, I can see that this situation really frustrated you. Let's talk about that. Why did it frustrate you? What strategies can we use in the future? Let's look at back when you were in the yellow zone. What could we have done to help you go from yellow to green? Because once you're in the red zone, then it's a lot harder. First, you have to fully calm down, and then you can use those strategies. So as you can see, there's a lot that goes into teaching our children how to recognize their strong feelings, what that feels like emotionally and physically, because our emotions are so physical. And then how to manage those emotions in a way that it's helpful. It's important that we understand as human beings that all emotions are valuable. They all tell us information that's worth paying attention to. It's just as important to be able to manage our emotions in ways that serve us well and help us learn in the school environment. So using the hand model of the brain and talking about the zones of regulations are great ways to have conversations with your children at home about their feelings and strategies you might come up with for managing those feelings. If you're looking for ways to individualize these strategies for your child, you can find some fabulous resources online, especially on sites like Pinterest, where families and educators, psychologists, and other child development experts come together to provide resources and ideas like these ones that can help your child come up with ways to be successful even when they're having big emotions. These include calming strategies, ideas for what to do when they're feeling upset or worried or disappointed. All of these can be helpful tools as you work with your child to teach self-regulation. Parents, thank you so much for watching and for all that you are doing to support your child's learning at home. We are all in this together. We appreciate you. Hope this was helpful. See you next time.